good at this. I got this.
I'm about to say, we'll just say that, 50, 100 episodes in, something like that. We'll just use this as a,
I wasn't recording, so we're good.
Oh,
All right. All right, here we go. Welcome to Alternate Win Condition, a bi-weekly podcast dedicated to the best trading card game on this planet, Magic the Gathering. I'm Janaelle, and with me is my co-host, Will.
Hello. I am reforged. I am ready to roll. Ready for a new set. Let's do this.
We are brought to you by boltsnapboltgaming.weebly.com, a community... Starting over. Where's my paper? I need to write this shit down. What's today? Is 1/13/15 episode 1. Okay, here we go again. Welcome to Alternate Win Condition, a bi-weekly podcast dedicated to the best trading card game on this planet, Magic the Gathering. I'm Janaelle, and with me is my co-host, Will.
How many colored permanents would Ugin kill if Ugin could kill colored permanents?
5?
Well, he's definitely not going 7. 7 would kill him, I think. So, yeah, I think 5 sounds about right.
Okay, 5. Cool. We are brought to you by boltsnapboltgaming.weebly.com, a community. Suck my dick, community.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck. Hold on, I'm on my cords. Okay, let's try this stupid shit again. Oh my god.
I gotta come up with which one was better. It's like I think the first one was probably just too drawn out.
Suck my dick, community.
Suck my dick. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say that as my intro. Like, suck my dick.
Okay, let's try this again. We got this. Okay.
All right, we got it.
Welcome to Alternate Win Condition, a bi-weekly podcast dedicated to the best trading card game on this planet, Magic the Gathering. I'm Janaelle, and with me is my co-host, Will.
Ban Islands.
We are brought to you by boltsnapboltgaming.weebly.com, a community to get it... God damn it! I got through one word!
You got through the community, and then it's just like...
Fuck! I can do this. Hold on, let me...
I can't come up with any more. I'm trying to come up with clever lines. I can't do it.
It's okay. You're startling me every single time, and I like it. Okay, one more time. We got this. Maybe, probably not. Welcome to Alternate Win Condition, a bi-weekly podcast dedicated to the best trading card game on this planet, Magic the Gathering. I'm Janaelle, and with me is my co-host, Will.
Hey, Janaelle. I'm ready to start bolstering and start stashing some stuff.
Me too.
Yeah.
We are brought to you by boltsnapboltgaming.weebly.com, a communicating... I fucking hate that word! I fucking hate that word! Oh my god!
Do you want me to try to take this one?
You fucking take that line, I can't do it!
Okay, I'll try it.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Hold on, where's Skype?
We brought to you.
Fucking word! Communicating! Communicating! It's community! God damn it! Okay, breathe. Okay, we got this. Maybe. Probably not. Welcome to Alternate Win Condition, a bi-weekly podcast dedicated to the best trading card game on this planet, Magic the Gathering. I'm Janaelle, and with me is my co-host, Will.
Dragons! Dragons, I tell you!
No dragons!
We're brought to you by boltsnapboltgaming.weebly.com, a community dedicated to all aspects of Magic the Gathering, from competitive tournaments to casual play, like Commander and Tiny Leaders. And you will find a lot of great articles about Magic stuff, including my weekly article that you will find on there at Force of Will.
I hate you because you can say the word community.
Community.
It's not communicating. It's not?
Communicated.
All right, just checking.
I'm about to say, if you're wondering, this is attempt 4 at this phrase, and I think we sort of got tongue twisted along the way.
I can't say community or dedicated.
Dedicated. Community dedicated.
So, if you're wondering what you should expect from this podcast, hijinks, silliness, we can't pronounce things, but mostly Magic. We're going to talk about a lot of different things with Magic. What are we talking about this week, Will?
Well, this week we're going to be talking about, of course, what we've been doing in the game of Magic in terms of different tournaments we played in or things that we've done during the week. But the big thing that we're going to talk about is Fate Reforged, the newest set that actually comes out for the pre-release this weekend, starting most places probably Friday at midnight. Yep. And gonna just start talking about kind of the cards that we are looking forward to, whether it's in cards that we want to play in Commander or cards that we want to play in constructed tournaments, stuff like that. So
there's some really good stuff coming out for Limited if you like Limited.
Absolutely, yeah. There's some really great Limited cards. I think, considering that this is a middle small set, there are actually more playable cards in this set than I think a lot of people give them credit for. Because normally when most people think of a small Magic set, they think, okay, well, this is sort of just to kind of tie the three sets together. However, I think in this case, there are cards that are not only going to see play in Standard, but, of course, you have your Limited All-Stars, you have things that are going to be used in Commander, going to be like, including some, honestly, really great dragons.
They definitely did a good job this time around, but we will get to that later.
Yes.
For now, we're going to tell you what we did in Magic this week. And I didn't play the AWC intro, so I'm going to have to do that later. And I'm editing this where I'm talking right now out. Hold on. Totally bad at this.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. Played it.
Magic the Gathering. Get the cards, play the game. Hope to win. But as we all know, it's not about winning.
Draft.
Commander.
Creepy.
Legacy.
Modern.
Standard.
Tilt.
Table flip.
This Week in Magic starts now.
So what'd you do in this weekend? What'd you say? What?
That's groovy. Groovy shit.
Groovy shit. Jesus. What'd you do? Fuck. English. I've lost my ability to speak tonight. What'd you do in Magic this week, Will?
Well, let's see. In this past week, unfortunately, I had to work this past weekend, so any hope of me playing in any invitational qualifiers or any PTQs or anything like that sort of went out the window. But I did get to kind of do my what I consider my normal weekly routine. Wednesday this past week, I got to play Legacy. I'm still trying to learn my Jeskai Stoneblade deck. I ended up going 0-3 with it. But get a pack, have some fun, kind of get used to the deck a little bit. Pretty good night. Then on Thursday night is my Modern game night, and I am playing Jeskai Delver for a couple reasons, and some of them that I
because you're a dick.
No, I'm not a dick. It's like even minus Treasure Cruise, which I personally think is going to get banned.
Everybody thinks Treasure Cruise is going to get banned.
It's going to. It's just way too powerful an effect for.
Whatever. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to say it's not going to get banned.
There are some people who truly think it's not that format warping. I'm like, okay.
I don't think it's format warping myself. No, but
it's like, but I'm anticipating that it's going to be, and actually the main reason I'm doing Jeskai is because some of the cards that we're actually going to be getting to when we start talking about the Fate Reforged spoilers. Then finally. In Friday Night Magic this week, I played my Teamer deck, and my Teamer deck is the most frustrating deck in the entire world for me. And I know why it's frustrating, and it's sort of the dumbest reason in the world for me to be frustrated with the deck. Is for Friday Night Magic, when I play it, I do incredibly well. I went 4-0 with this deck. It's literally the deck I've been playing since Khans of Tarkir. Mm-hmm. However, if I take it to any bigger tournament, into a more competitive tournament, sometimes I can go 4-2, something like that, but not a record that you would think would be indicative of someone who went undefeated at Friday Night Magic. And I know I know Friday Night Magic is supposed to be more casual. It's supposed to be kind of a more laid back thing, but I'm like, okay, well, what's the disconnect here? So, but it's something that and honestly, I'm even debating whether to continue playing it into Fate Reforged, but because I do have several other deck ideas that I'm thinking of right now.
I think we all have deck ideas right about now.
We do, and actually, I'm gonna talk about some of the deck ideas that I have, of course, when we get to the spoilers. But beyond that, I mean, just kind of relaxing, kind of. My store is closed, which actually I live in Roanoke, Virginia, and so my game store is literally the Star City Games, the same ones that do the tournaments every weekend, stuff like that. So, but they don't open until Wednesday, so usually Monday and Tuesday is just kind of my relaxing, no magic days. Mm-hmm. So, and by no magic days, I mean usually I spend my time either writing an article or just thinking about different things for different decks and stuff like that. So how about you?
Great.
How about you? Do you know what you do this past week in Magic?
I played Sealed. That's what I did.
Nice.
I got my ass not handed to me. I went 1-1-1.
So that's pretty good.
It was awful. The whole thing was awful. So I ended up running. What did I run? Red, white, black. Just the stuff I drafted. It was okay. It fit together as a deck. First game, he won 1, I won 1. There was no time left for a third game. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, so it happens. I mean, even and a lot of times it's not even the type of deck you're building. It's not like, oh, I'm trying to build a control deck to go long. It's that, sometimes it happens, and so I understand that.
Yeah. Let's see. We got. Then the next game, I won. I smashed face in. I had, what is it? I had that artifact that costs 1. Every time you put a permanent into play, your opponent has to mill a card. And then I had Goblin Landslide, which every time you cast a non-creature spell, you get to put a Goblin into play if you pay 1 colorless. So I'm like, fuck your socks. Mill your fucking shit out. Both games.
Oh, you actually ended up milling him out?
That's 2 games in a row. Fucked his couch. So the next game, I won 1, I lost 1, and then the third game, I got color screwed, and 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 I went down to 4 fucking cards, no land, and I gave up. 3 minutes left on the clock.
It's just like, at that point, it was like,
yeah,
not gonna happen. So
pretty much, I got my ass kicked, and then I didn't. So.
It was like, again, that happens. That's one of the most frustrating things, especially in limited. And I'll be honest, I'm not a limited expert in sealed or draft or anything like that by any stretch of the imagination. But I know that can be frustrating. Is like, oh, I have 17, 18 lands in here that I should be able to draw something, anything. It's like,
yeah. It's like, okay, 1 white, 3 color deck. Nope. 2 green. No, sorry, 2 red. 3 color deck. Nope. 1 white, 1 black. 3 color deck. Nope. No land. Fuck my couch.
Now, did you play a lot of morphs in your deck, or
no?
Okay.
No, I had the fixers. I got land draw, and I got land draw. I had 5 fixer lands out of my 17 land. Like, I didn't get color screwed until that very last game.
Got it. Okay. It's like, because I know a lot of times, like, if they have a lot of morphs in the deck, they'll be like, okay, I have 2 lands. Chances are I'll draw the third and be like, just I can play something on turn 3. It's it's a little 2/2, but hey, it works. So.
Yeah. So it wasn't great. I didn't play Abzan. I wouldn't have played Abzan. That's my deck right now in Standard is Abzan aggro because I like big creatures that kill things and removal.
Yep.
But I was going to play Red Deck Wins because I just like swing, turn things sideways. Ouch. That's one of my favorite decks right now, but I didn't play any of that. I played Limited because that's my favorite format.
It's like, very nice. Very nice. It's like, and Abzan aggro right now is actually a really great call in Standard. I mean, okay, well,
it has all the answers. Sideboard shit in, all the answers.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's one of the few decks I think can especially against the reanimator type decks, is that you can literally have them killed by about the time they're putting the Whip of Erebos on the field. It's
Yeah,
like,
and if they put whip on the field, I can get rid of it. So whatever,
Yeah,
do your whip
and-
thing. I'm just gonna fucking, what's it? Banishing Light, the black-white exile, the green creature that destroys artifacts. Like, you're not getting your shit out. Sorry.
yeah, no,
That's why I like removal.
removal is nice.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk about some, especially one piece of removal that I am personally excited for, in the next set. But
All right, let's get to that next set and talk about these spoilers.
all right, excellent.
So, putting up pictures.
Now,
Yay.
now, while we're getting everything set to talk about these, do we want to take a second to talk about some of kind of the new mechanics that are coming out in Fate Reforged real quick? I know we'll probably discuss some of them while we're going through talking about the spoilers, but kind of the general idea on what some of these are.
The new mechanics, if you haven't heard, we've got Manifest. So Manifest is you take the top card of your library and you put it face down on the battlefield as a morph creature, so a 2/2 colorless creature. Then at any point in time, if it is a creature, you can turn it face up for its mana cost. And it's just, I think we're going to see some interesting things. With last set, they had some of the cards that give bonuses for all the morph creatures you've got on the board and shit. And this is going to make it a lot easier for 5-color decks to do their thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think it's sort of interesting with Manifest is that you do have the option, if you do have a morph creature, that you can pay what's typically the cheaper mana, or you can pay the cheaper morph cost. Like, if normally something costs 5 mana to flip, but you can flip it for 4 mana. You can pay the 4 mana even as a Manifest. You don't have to flip it for its morph cost, if it is a Manifest, I should say.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it does mean you lose any spells, but I think that'll be okay for a lot of people running these Manifest things. Then there's also some abilities that'll make your opponent Manifest, which could really wreck things like, oh, you scried that, you left that on top? Nope.
Nope, you're not getting it. It's like, were you looking for a land? Yeah, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. And I would say, and remember also, at least in Standard right now, we still have Corsair or Crewfix. So there's a very good possibility is you can actually see what the card is that they're about to get. And so you can be like, oh, okay, well, I'll manifest your creature, or I'll force you to manifest that creature onto the battlefield. Say it's a Planeswalker or something like that. It's like, you can't flip it. Sorry, it's not a creature. You get a 2/2 now.
Yeah. So we've also got Dash, which is any creature with Dash, you can pay the Dash cost instead of the spell cost. And if you do, it gets haste and then it's returned from the battlefield at the end of... returned to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. So you drop a creature, it swings, probably does something when it attacks, and then if it's still alive at the end of at the end of your turn, you get to put it back in your hand.
Yep, absolutely. It's like, and that's gonna bring, I think, a very new dimension to the aggro decks, especially to kind of the red decks in the format, to be able to say, okay, well, I know you have removal in your hand, so if I keep this on the battlefield for your turn, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. But I can say, all right, swing in, bring it back to my hand. Next turn, swing in, bring it back to my hand. So
I think it's gonna be very interested in Limited. And I especially can't wait to see what people do when we get some effects that when a creature enters the battlefield.
Yep, absolutely. It's like, and then the last one, and honestly, probably of the 3 abilities, I think this is the one that personally has me excited the most. Is Bolster. Is usually, and this is kind of taking the place of Outlast, if you remember that from Cons of Tarkir. Is, Outlast, you can pay a mana cost, tap your creature, put a 1/1 counter on it. Well, in this case, there are several effects that have bolster on it, and it says when this creature does something, put 2 1/1 counters on the creature with the lowest toughness that you have. So, for example, say you have a little 1/1 creature and you do something to bolster it, you can put 1 to 2 counters on your little 1/1. Now he's a 3/3. Then kind of go through there throughout the
And it's definitely going to stack with those Outlast abilities, because when you get a counter on it, those creatures do shit. So it's like, okay, well, I have all these creatures out. I haven't outlasted anything. Well, guess what? Bolster. Now they all have Reach, Lifelink, and First Strike.
Or my personal favorite, Abzan Falconer, give them all fly.
And flying. Get wrecked. This is going to be amazing.
It is. It's going to be, and actually, I'll be honest, of the three mechanics, I actually think Bolster is the one that's probably going to see more constructed play as well. It's going to be a big thing in Limited, but it's also going to be something I think is going to be really big in Standard and going forward as well. So it's something I'm sort of excited to see about. So, well, kind of give you an idea of what we did with this. We both picked out what we say are probably not necessarily our 10 most favorite cards from the set, but definitely
10 we think are the most interesting.
10 that we think are the most interesting cards. And to kind of prevent any crossover, we did kind of know each other's lists, so that way, because I mean, there's something I think we both could pick out.
We don't want to bore the shit out of you. That's basically what's going on here.
Essentially, yes.
So we're going to start off with Alicia, who smiles at death because, holy shit, this card! It's a red, 2 colorless for 1 legendary human warrior with First Strike. She's a 3/2. And whenever Alicia, who smiles at death, attacks, you may pay 1 white or black and 1 white or black. And if you do, you return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This card is the very definition of absolutely insane. It is because, again, when you're dealing with in a limited format, First Strike, especially with a field full of morphs and manifests and everything else, the ability to kill something without it killing you back is a big deal. And so this is just literally, it's like, oh, you have a little manifest creature there? It's like, oh, kill it.
Yeah, I'll kill it, and maybe you can flip it, and I'll be like, okay, Titan Strength. What now?
Anything to be like, okay, However, I also think this is a creature that is going to see a lot of play in either your red deck win formats. To be like, you have your little, Foundry Street Denizens, you have your Fire Drinker Satyrs, stuff like that, and be like, oh, okay, when I attack, and I'll bring that back as well. It's like, and so just be able to push through kind of a lot of damage at one time. And in addition, there are some very annoying little creatures that this can bring back. For example, Goblin Rabblemaster.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like you think you kill your Goblin Rabblemaster, I will just bring him back. Mm-hmm. And though I won't get the token, since it wasn't there at the beginning, I'll get it next turn. I'll get it back. It's like, yeah, this card is bonkers. This card is an insane card.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do some interesting stuff with this card. I'm planning on making a red-white burn deck that's also an aggro deck. It's going to have this Goblin Rabblemaster, all the burn cards, and a bunch of red-white, what's Seeker of the Way, all some crazy shit. So
I was about to say, and probably a couple of the other cards that we're going to talk about further.
Probably,
down
yes. I might go into blue because of some of the cards.
Yeah, there are a lot. Yeah, in that case,
so
you can go straight Jeskai. It's like it's insane what these things.
That's not the right card. Next up is Archfiend of Depravity. Just find the card.
Yeah, I got it.
Apparently, this is not in order. I don't know what happened. That's okay. So Archfiend of Depravity, flying. It's a 5/4 for 3 colorless, 2 black. At the beginning of each opponent's in-step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures he or she controls and then sacrifices the rest? Oh my god, Commander!
Yeah,
oh my god.
Oh my god, Commander. Oh my god, any deck that wants to run Hornet Queen?
Oh man, I want to see this card make a comeback in Mono Black. Because what Mono Black was missing was the big flying demon that cost 2 black.
Yep.
Right?
Because in the last standard format you had Desecration Demon.
Yeah.
Which was an insane
card. This I really, oh my god, I want my Mono Black deck back. God damn it.
It's like, yeah, this again, an insane card. A flying flying 5 power anything for 5 mana is great in and of itself.
Yeah.
But add on top of that, I mean, and I actually think Mono Black, though it doesn't have all the tools that it had in the last standard format,
No.
it has a lot of tools. It has Herald of Torment, which is a 3/3 flyer for 3. It has
Herald of Torment, Archfiend of Depravity. We still got Thoughtseize. We still got all the removal.
Yep. I was like, and
we've only got 15 removal cards in Mono Black.
Yeah, it's like it's something I can definitely see making a comeback with some of the, especially with something like Archfiend of Depravity, because it literally is a board wipe every single turn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's a one-sided.
It's a Sorin for free, practically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
So, and actually, there is one other factor I want to bring in with Archfiend of Depravity, is I think there's a Abzan has always had problems with one particular creature, and it's Stormbreath Dragon.
Yeah.
Because
Mono-white
it goes right through Wingmate Rot because it's protection to white.
Yeah.
It goes, you can't Utter End it, you can't Banishing Light it, but you know what you can do? You can have Archfiend of Depravity block it though, and it will kill it.
Yeah.
So, I think you're gonna see some Abzan deck, maybe not running main deck, but I definitely will see them. I think
he'll be in the sideboard.
He will be a sideboard. Yep.
He's going to get a lot of play. I'm looking forward to seeing him, except I'm not looking forward to seeing him against me.
Yeah, not on the other side of the table. No.
All right, next up we have a Tarka World Render. This is a 5 colorless, 1 red, 1 green legendary dragon. She's a 6/4 flying trample. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, it gains double strike until end of turn. I personally want to see all the dragons in a standard 5-color deck, but seriously, this card in Limited and Commander is just going to destroy everything.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, alone, basically, if you combine this with Xenagod and Commander, you have a 1-turn, you basically have a 1-turn kill.
Yeah.
It's because it will pump it immediately to make it a 12/8. Then flying double striker, it will do 22 points of damage. The other player is dead. There is nothing.
24, but yeah.
24,
so
yes.
This card is going to wreck shit in Commander. You get this out in Limited, you're all flying trample swing 12.
It's like, yeah. Now
it's a game ender.
It is a game ender in Limited. It's a game ender in Commander. And unfortunately, for constructed formats, this is a card that I have gone back forth on, and I'm to the literally the day that it came out. If you follow me on Twitter, which is at RedHawkWill, and we'll tell you again at the end of the show, I literally called this a shitty 7-drop dragon because I was like, this is not going to see play in Standard. It's not. It's like, this is a 7-mana creature that you might be able to get down on turn 6, turn 5 if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
It can be killed by Stoke the Flames, which is not something that I would ever want to happen to a 7 mana cost dragon. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, well, you know what? If you're running a lot of dragons already, like Stormbreath Dragon or Sarkhan, because Sarkhan, when you use his +1 ability, he does become a dragon, so he would be affected by this.
Yep.
It's like there's a possibility that this could potentially be a game ender. However, the more I think about it, the more I have gone back to I'm not quite sure.
No, I think she's going to be good with combos. You're going to be able to combo this card really well, but on her own, in Standard, she's not going to do so hot.
No.
But that's okay. Every card that comes out in the set does not have to be for Standard.
No,
this card
absolutely.
is just amazing in Limited and Commander, like wrecks shit in Commander and Limited.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be good in Standard.
No, this is a card that I could literally see. I mean, I don't say they would ban. I know they ban certain cards in Commander. This is one I could see down the road that they would say, you know what, no.
No, you can't play with this card anymore.
You're done. You can't play with this card. Way too powerful in Commander.
Yeah.
It was way too many turn 1 kills. I mean, it's the equivalent of Prosh from the Commander 2013 decks.
Yeah.
There are some solidly.
Oh my god, this card with Prosh.
Yeah, or even that, yeah. It's like,
Jesus, all the 5-color decks are going to run dragons.
Yeah, and actually, it's going to be...
It's going to be bad.
It's going to be bad.
It's going to be bad. All right, moving on. We got Brutal Horde Chief. He is a 3 colorless, 1 black orc warrior. He is a 3/3. Whenever a creature you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Then on top of that, if you want, you can pay 3 colorless, 1 red or white, and 1 red or white. Creatures your opponents control block this turn if able, and you choose how those creatures block. So, Mardu's happy.
Yeah, and I say, and you're gonna. I personally think you're gonna see a Mardu token strategy with this card. Is you're gonna see them play Goblin Rabblemaster. They're gonna play, Hordling Outburst, Raise the Alarm, Monastery Mentor, which we'll get to him in a moment. You're gonna see this thing just try to overwhelm the field with tokens.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay,
you have to block this one token. Swing. Die.
Swing with 8 tokens. What you gonna do? Like, you lose before anything even connects. You lose 8 life. I gain 8 life, and then on top of that, I can activate it to be like, you know what? I think I'll decide how you block this turn.
Yeah.
It's like,
so it's gonna be very entertaining to see this played.
Yeah, it is. It's like it is gonna be a very interesting, very insane card to kind of see in this format. Limited. I also think this guy will have an impact in constructed formats as well. I think, of course, and in Commander, where mana, usually you have all the mana you ever want in a Commander deck. Good lord.
Yeah, especially with some of the decks that allow you to pump. So, okay, now this creature is a 40/45, but you have to block this 0/1.
Yeah. It's like, you can, literally you can throw all your blockers on whatever the smallest creature is, or something with Death Touch. It'd be
something with Death Touch.
Kill.
So this is going to be very interesting.
It is.
Next up, I picked Dramoka the Eternal. It's a 3 colorless, 1 green, 1 white legendary dragon. If you didn't know, there are a lot of legendary dragons.
Yeah,
he has flying, because he's a dragon. And whenever a dragon you control attacks, bolster 2. If you forget, that's choose a creature with the least toughness among creatures you control and put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. So this is the card I was talking about with all those Outlast cards. You make a green-white deck, put 4 of this sucker in there, get all those Outlast cards, Flying, Reach, First Strike, Lifelink, and now, they've all activated, and you're just going to swing for the trees.
Yep. It's like, and by the way, and also this triggers on attack, not on damage, not on anything else. So you get to put all these counters on these creatures before they get to assign blocks or anything else. Mm-hmm. So that's a big part of this, because you can turn a creature that has no flying into a flying creature with the bolster thing, the bolster mechanic. However,
very interesting.
It is going to be incredibly interesting. However, of all and there's a set of 5 legendary dragons. I think we are only talking about 2 of them, and we've already talked about Atarka. Of the 5 new legendary dragons, this is the one that I think we'll see play in kind of your standard type formats as well. Because let's say you have a completely empty board, not a single thing else there. You cast this on turn 5. Turn 6, he bolsters when you swing. Well, he's the only creature out there, so now he's a 7/7 on turn 6.
No, he's a 9/9.
Well, no, by himself, because the turn he comes out, he can't attack. So unless you have something to give him haste.
Right, he bolsters 2.
Yeah, so he goes from 5/5 to 7/7. You get 2 +1/+1 counters.
Oh,
so
I'm good at this. I'm good at this math stuff.
Yes. So now let's add in another dragon, say Stormbreath Dragon. They both swing. Since you have 2 dragons, you get 2 triggers. Mm-hmm. Stormbreath Dragon will get the first bolster because he's only a 4/4. So now he's a 6/6.
Mm-hmm.
The second trigger will go to Dromoko, the Eternal, and he becomes a 7/7. So now you've gone from swinging for 9 damage to swinging for 14 damage. So, and it only gets more insane after that.
And he's only cost 5.
And 5. He's literally, and kind of the benchmark for this is Pelucranos is a 5/5 for 4, and he doesn't fly.
Yeah.
So for 1 additional mana, you have a flying 5/5.
Dramoka the Eternal is just going to ruin everyone's day.
Pretty much. I think I honestly believe that, and I'm actually already building a Naya standard deck basically around him, Sarkin, a bunch of other flyers. It's gonna get nuts. That's all I can say. It is gonna be nuts.
Yeah. So, what else do we got that's gonna be crazy? Fearsome Awakening, because this is gonna be crazy!
Yeah.
4 colorless, 1 black, sorcery, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it's a dragon, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it.
Now, this is one that this is one of the ones that I sort of chose on this one, and this is a card that I'm not 100% certain it will see play, but I think it's hilarious.
5-color dragon deck.
It's like, well, yeah, besides the 5-color dragon deck, but here's what I was thinking is if you're playing Jun, green, red, black, somebody kills your Stormbreath Dragon. Well, you just spent 5 mana on him. Then next turn, you use your 5 mana again to essentially for all practical purposes recast your Stormbreath Dragon, and he comes back as a 6/6. So for 5 mana now, you turn your Stormbreath Dragon into a 6/6 flying. And
resurrected him.
You resurrected him for the exact same mana cost. I don't know if that means this is good enough to play, but the fact of the matter is, especially in limited, there are, let's see, right off the top of my head, I can think of 11 dragons just in Fate Reforged, much less in Khans of Tarkir, which actually I don't think there are any dragons in Khans of Tarkir. That's sort of the whole point of the story, but it's like... well,
does Sarkin count?
Well, actually, you're right. Correct. Well, no, because he's not a dragon creature. It has to be a dragon creature. So
fuck that. We've decided planeswalkers are creatures.
Yeah,
let's wreck all the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be a really interesting card. It's going to do very good things. If people run it, people may not run this card.
I would say, there are a lot of disadvantages to this card because if you
don't have a dragon in your graveyard,
or if you have nothing in your graveyard, even this is a dead card until something dies. But given the way limited Magic is, a lot of times you're trading creatures back and forth for pretty much the entirety of the game. So chances are you're going to have something big in there. Now, the interesting thing would be is if you could do something that costs more than 5 mana and then have some way to mill into your graveyard. Say, for example, you had like Sidisi and Unlimited, and be like, okay, comes in, mills 2, next turn, cast 5, and pull something big out.
Unfortunately, we're going to see a lot more Reanimator.
Yeah, that's kind of the one thing that I've gotten from these things is Reanimator gets some absolutely insane tools. It is like some
it's really not my favorite deck ever. I don't like it, but
I would say
it's popular.
If it wasn't for honestly, if it wasn't for Hornet Queen, it wouldn't be the worst deck in the world. But god damn that Hornet Queen!
Yeah. All right. So next up, we got Flamewake Phoenix. This is a 1 colorless, 2 red Phoenix, flying haste for 2/2. Flamewake Phoenix attacks each turn if able. I cannot English. It also has ferocious at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, you may pay 1 red. If you do, return Flamewake Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield. I think this is gonna make that deck I was talking about.
What, the red deck? Or the
flying haste? Bring it!
I would say there's actually, I actually think this is going to be something that's going to see a lot of play. Honestly, in limited, the higher up the mana curve you go, you are going to have a creature with power 4 or greater, unless you're building some sort of a weird token stack. So chances are you're going to have something that you can bring this back for 1 single red mana. In constructed, of course, I think the most obvious answer would be to put him in sort of a red deck wins type thing, kind of going back to the old Chandra's Phoenix.
That's what I'm talking about,
type card. However, I don't know if red deck wins is actually the best option for this. I mean, that's
why I'm not putting in red deck wins. I'm putting it in my red-white weirdness deck.
Yeah, it's like, and I think any deck that runs something like a Stormbreath Dragon or something like that is going to want at least a couple copies of this card in there, because you can cast Stormbreath Dragon and literally for a single mana you get your Flamewake Phoenix back.
Yeah.
So I think you're gonna see a lot of this dude. It's like definitely in limited. I think definitely in standard. Commander, I think it would just be kind of a nice thing to have if you are playing in red decks because, again, cheap powerful creatures for 1 mana always do good things.
We're gonna have to start picking it up here if we want to get through all these cards.
Yep, got it. Yep. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we don't need to tell everybody all the formats, so we're gonna keep moving, and we're gonna pick up with Grave Strength. This is 1 colorless, 1 black sorcery. Choose target creature. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each creature card in your graveyard.
It's like,
what?
Yeah. This is one of the most undercosted things I have seen in quite some time, especially with the population of Reanimator decks. Good lord. All right, let's go with the least scary option first. Let's say you're playing a Sidisi Reanimator. You mill the 2 cards. Let's say there's a creature card in there, so you get a zombie out of that. Then let's say you chose the Sidisi as your creature. You just put anywhere between 3 and 5 counters on your Sidisi, making it an 8/8 now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, now let's just change it from Sultai Whip, or Sidisi Whip, to Abzan, and let's change that creature to a Siege Rhino.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to get insane, and so it's something that I think, again, I don't know if it's going to be a main deck card in Whip decks, but good lord, the possibilities.
I think it's going to be. I think we're going to see this card all the time, and I think it's going to make everyone cry.
Yeah, it's going to be the one that's be like, God damn, if I didn't have enough issue getting rid of Siege Rhino before, now this? Like,
yeah. Now it's back, and it's ginormous. Have fun.
Yeah.
Alright, next up we have Mardu Shadow Spear, 1 black. Human warrior, 1/1. Whenever Mardu Shadow Spear attacks, each opponent loses 1 life. Dash for 2. Oh my god, limited. This card all day.
Yeah, it was like, just knowing the fact that you can keep bringing it back to your hand.
Yeah.
Is...
I drop it, you lose 1, then take 1.
Yep.
What are you going to do about it? Nothing? Okay, I drop it, you take 1. Well, you killed it, that's okay. Because you took 3, and I paid...
This reminds me a lot of I'm trying to think of the creature's name, where it's just the sole base that it attacks gives you -2. It's not in Khan's Tarkir. I think it's in one of the Theros blocks or something like that. But it's like, yeah, this is gonna go right in with all of those as well. It's gonna be best in its aggressive decks, maybe even possibly a warrior deck if you have like some of the Khan's Tarkir creatures. For limited, yeah, this is going to be a card that's definitely going to see some play, I think.
All kinds of play, definitely. Monastery Mentor is next. This is a 2 colorless, 1 white human monk. He has prowess, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess onto the battlefield. Mardu tokens, anybody?
Well, Mardu tokens. Let's go. All right. First of all, if you're running white and you have the option to run this or Goblin Rabblemaster, you should be running this, not Goblin Rabblemaster anymore. The main reason why is because of, one, it has prowess, which is an insane effect on its own, especially if you're playing a deck like Jeskai tokens or something like that, where you can constantly buff your creatures anyway, and you have a whole bunch of non-creature spells. But then not only does it create a token, but it creates a token that, 1, doesn't have to attack, which Goblin Rabblemaster's Goblin tokens have to attack, and 2, the token has prowess. So that means the first one that you cast, it will do that. It will create the 1/1. The second one, not only will it create another 1/1, it will pump the first token.
They're both 2/2s.
They're both 2/2s now. Like, are you in? This is insane. This is a card that I personally think will. It would have to be something to be built around and limited, because you would have to have enough non-creature spells to really make this work. But in constructed. Oh my lord!
I mean, I don't know too much about Legacy or Modern, but I think this could be okay in Modern as well.
I think this will be a replacement for, and I think this is a card that we'll see a lot of play in Modern. I'm not 100% certain on Legacy. Deep down in my heart, I want it to work in Legacy. I really do, because I want, my Force of Wills that I'm casting for free to also generate a token and hit prowess as well. As much as I want that to happen. The big 3 drops that you see in Legacy are True Name Nemesis and Liliana of the Veil. as powerful as this is, it doesn't even come close to the power level of either one of those. And so
No,
I don't
it
know.
doesn't.
I don't know if it's legacy viable, but in modern, good lord, yeah, I'm planning on putting 3 of those in my Delver deck once
Oh God.
once it
Yeah.
comes out. It's
Okay.
like every lightning bolt will create a dude and give it prowess. It will be my replacement for Young Pyromancer, which
Awesome.
is saying something. Is like, yeah, this is a card that you're gonna at the pre-release you're gonna want to open this card, because probably with the exception of Ugin, this will be the highest price card, I'm assuming,
We're
out of
thinking.
this set. I'm thinking right now, yes.
All right. Well, we also picked Palace Siege. This is 3 colorless, 2 black. As Palace Siege enters the battlefield, choose Khans or Dragons. If you choose Khans, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your grave into your hand. If you choose Dragons, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
this is a limited win condition. Is if you're playing black, you drop this on turn 5, you have a clock that is going to be incredibly hard for them to get rid of.
They're not going to be happy campers.
They're not. It's like, I have a feeling in this case probably most people would choose Dragons, I think, in limited, just because
In limited?
yes, I think so, because
Yeah, you're probably right.
it's like, because Khans is like, I mean, if there may be, if you have nothing in your graveyard, Khans doesn't do anything to it.
No,
But-
it doesn't. But
but-
if it could be late game. This could be how you save your ass. But
It
at the
could be.
same time, this in standard, this is gonna bring back Reanimator just solely by itself. This is gonna bring back Reanimator.
Yeah, because right now the thing that people are using right now to bring creature cards back to the graveyard, back from the graveyard, is Soul of Innistrad.
Yeah.
Which by itself costs 6, I think, and you can activate it once in the graveyard for 5 mana, and bring 3 creature cards back. But that's once. This is every single turn you're going to bring something back.
Yeah.
Your Siege Rhino died. Guess what? You can get your Siege Rhino back. Like, this is one of those. I think this is going to be something that's definitely going to see play in standard. I don't know if it's main deck necessarily, but I definitely think this is going to be.
This is so main deck. Are you kidding?
It's like,
they are gonna build decks around this enchantment.
I think
This enchantment is totally gonna wreck all the things and make people cry.
and I would tend to agree with you, even though I'm not 100% certain. Would you rather want this, or would you rather want an additional Hornet Queen? in the
No,
deck?
you would want both. You would want to play Hornet Queen, 4 Hornet Queens, say 3 of these, put a bunch of Siege Rhinos in, something, some other shit that do stuff, and then just beginning my upkeep, you killed my Hornet Queen. Well, it's back.
It's like, yeah, okay, I can see that.
Oh, you want to kill it again? Okay, well, it's back.
This could easily be a replacement for, I mean, not necessarily tomorrow or whenever the set comes out, but down the road, this could easily be the replacement for Whip of Erebos. It's like, I could see some decks trying to run this versus
I think we're gonna see Whip and this being used. I'm really thinking Jund Reanimator is coming back, and it's gonna be this card and Whip, because Whip by itself doesn't do a Reanimator deck.
No, not in and of itself. I mean, the things that really make the Whip Reanimator deck kind of annoying are, 1, the lifelink, because you can never end up killing the person to begin with, and 2.
Yeah, but the thing about that deck is, you don't get Whip, then, well, you don't get Whip.
Yeah.
Right? So now you have Whip or this.
Okay.
And if you have Whip out, you pick Dragons.
Yep, that is true. That actually, okay, I can definitely see that now that I see. Yeah, you're right. This is kind of Whip, 5 and 6 possibly. Is
Yeah.
like, because as you're right, you're not always going to draw your Whip, and so yeah, I could see that.
So I think this is why I think Jund Reanimator's coming back. This card in particular.
Yeah, and there are some things. Yeah, there are definitely some things that I think play incredibly well with the Jund colors, at least. I mean, we already talked about one, Fearsome Awakening, with and Sultai and Abzan. How many dragons are there right now?
Oh, a lot.
I mean, no, in Jund there is. Yes, Jund I would agree with you, but not. I mean, Abzan we have Dromoko, and Sultai. And Sultai, I don't.
Yeah,
really
that's true.
I don't even want to talk about Sultai dragons. It's like there's. I actually feel sorry for that legendary dragon, but that's another issue entirely.
All right. Well, I think we've said enough about this card.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're good.
Now on to the blue card that's going to be just making people cry. Reality Shift. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Instant. Exile target creature. Its controller manifests the top card of his or her library. So if you remember Manifest, the player puts the top card of his or her library into the battlefield as a colorless 2/2 creature.
Yeah, this is... Okay, first of all, it's going to get rid of something big and give you something small that you'll be able to deal with. Which in and of itself, I would say is a deal. Now, you're hoping and praying that whatever they manifest off the top is not going to be another creature. Maybe a land card or some sort of a spell or something like that. But, so yeah, this is going to be something, it's going to be great and limited. I honestly think this is probably, in my opinion, maybe the uncommon of the set. If it wasn't for the fact that Shock is back as well in the new form, I would say this probably would be the uncommon of the set. But this is a card that's going to see a lot of play.
In my opinion, this is the best blue card in the set. This is a 2-drop. I'm just going to take anything off your board. If you're playing blue, you're running 4 of these.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
That's why, in my opinion, best card of the set in blue. Because 4 of them, every fucking blue deck. How does it get better than that?
I'm trying to think of the mythics and rares. I'm trying to think if there's any blue that I would rather have than Reality Shift off the top of my head.
If you picked any, you're playing blue wrong.
Yeah, it's like I think so. I mean, people are gonna try to play Temporal Trespass, but I think you're correct. I think this is the blue card of the set. Now we talked a little bit about limited, but let's talk about constructed. This may be the most versatile blue card in quite some time, besides with maybe the exception of counter spells.
Yeah.
But because not only can you use it to get rid of your own creature, but a lot of decks are still running Corsair or Crufix, so you get to pick what they get, essentially. So, for example, let's say you know they're about to draw a Siege Rhino. Well, you Reality Shift one of their creatures. They get the Siege Rhino as a 2/2. One, there's a pretty good chance that you could probably kill it before it becomes their turn again anyway. But let's say they don't. Let's say next turn they flip it up. Well, guess what? It doesn't trigger Siege Rhino's effect because it's already on the battlefield. It's just like a morph. It's like, so they pay 4 mana and they don't get to gain 3 life off of it because it's already on the battlefield.
Yeah, people gonna cry.
But then there's also the potential that this card could actually be used on defense as well. Say, for example, you've already attacked with a creature and you know that when they swing back, they could potentially kill you with whatever they have. You Reality Shift your own creature just to give you a 2/2 blocker to block them. Because it doesn't come in tapped, it comes in untapped. So this is a card that can be used offensively, it can be used defensively. You know, if you see they're about to draw a kill spell, you make a manifest the top card. It's like, oh, you don't get your hero's downfall. I'm sorry. You know, this is going to be the card that I think out of this set will. I don't know if it'll have the most constructed play, but if you're playing blue, it's going to be there. Yeah, and especially with like blue-black control and stuff like that, this is just another tool in their toolbox to use to get rid of stuff. It's like. Yeah, this is a big...
Because anything with black needed more help.
Yeah, definitely. So...
Alright, so next up we've got Shaman of the Great Hunt. This is a 3 colorless, 1 red orc shaman. He's a 4/2 with haste, and whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Okay, alright, let's stop at that part right there. That alone is insane. Even if you never actually swing him, you just cast him and then swing with something else. Like, if you know it's gonna get through, it's gonna make it stronger.
But it doesn't end there because it also has ferocious, 2 colorless, 1 green or blue, and 1 green or blue. Draw a card for each creature you control with power 4 or greater.
Yeah, this is the card that single-handedly makes me want to go play Temur again. I mean, and I mean this in all seriousness, is if a card is going to keep me in Temur, this is going to be the card that's going to be it. Because then I can play, my Stormbreath Dragon. He swings first turn. He's now a 5/5. Next turn, he swings again. He's now a 6/6. And you just keep doing this over and over again until, they're dead. And then on top of that, you have a bunch of creatures and notice this ability, you don't have to activate it at sorcery speed. So at the end of turn, if you're keeping mana open for some reason, you're like, okay, end of your turn, I'll activate my Ferocious or activate my Shaman, I'll draw 4 cards, and then I'll start my turn. This guy is an insane card.
I'm not happy.
Huh?
I'm not happy. He's blue. I'm not playing blue.
Well, say, with the good news though, if you're playing green and red, you don't necessarily have to have blue to play him. So.
Oh, that's a good point. He's not necessarily blue. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So
you to play Magic.
Is like. So yeah, I mean, and you could see a green-red deck that would run this kind of.
Oh my god, this card in Commander though.
Yeah, this could get insane in Commander.
All right, so next up we've got Soulfire Grandmaster.
The second. There's gonna be 3 big cards in the set. One we've already talked about is Monastery Mentor. One, I don't know if either one of us mentioned the other.
Let's tell them what the card is.
Yeah.
1 colorless, 1 white, human monk. She's a 2/2 with lifelink. Instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink. This is the card I'm basing that red-white deck around. 2 colorless, 1 blue or red, and 1 blue or red. The next time you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand this turn, put that card into your hand instead of your graveyard as it resolves. Oh my god, I stoke you, and then I fucking stoke you again!
Yeah, this is... The buyback ability alone, even if that other line of text was not there with the instants and sorceries you control have lifelink, even if that line was not there, the fact that you can pay 4 mana to get a spell back to your hand is absolutely insane. And then throw this in with Treasure Cruise.
Yeah.
You pay 1 mana, draw 3 cards, exile most of your graveyard, then pay an additional 4 mana to get it back.
Draw 6 cards. Yeah.
Draw 6 cards at this point. It's like, this is, again, something I think is going to be insane. Now, I think this is going to be really good in Standard, because I think you're going to have people build those burn token
burn decks.
Burn/token decks. And then in Legacy, I think this will be good, not great. But in Modern, oh Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord. This is the other card that I'm adding into my Jeskai Delver deck, because I'm running 4 Lightning Bolts, which is Lightning Bolts, 1 mana, deal 3 damage to something. Anything. So now I turn that 1 mana into deal 3 damage and I gain 3 life. Then let's go to the 2 mana spell, Lightning Helix, which says deal 3 damage to something and you gain 3 life. So I deal 3 damage to something and I gain 6 life for 2 mana. Are you kidding me? And then as we get further in the game, I can buy that spell back for 4 mana and do it again. Okay, yeah. This is a card along between this, Monetary Mentor, and Ugin are probably going to be the 3 big cards of the set, and this is going to see a lot of play in every format across the board. Is like
definitely, and we actually had 6 more cards we were going to talk to you guys about, but we're out of time.
We're out of time. Okay. I was like, I mean, when we're talking about other cards and kind of passing, I think we've hit probably easily have hit about 17, 18 cards, I think. So something like that. There's like
we're good. You guys don't need to hear the entire spoiler list. They're out there. There's a whole bunch of great articles on Bolt Snap Bolt.
Yes.
Gaming.weebly.com if you want to learn about more spoilers. You can also find a whole bunch of stuff on Twitter.
Actually,
TCG Player.
Yep. And actually, speaking of Bolt Snap Bolt, I actually have my article for this week going up tomorrow, where I give you 10. That's right, 10 decks, and 8 of them are standard decks. They're decks that I think could personally be viable in Standard today, running these cards. So it's something that you should definitely check out. Come tomorrow. Also, I finally heard back from the guy who owns Bolt Snap Bolt, and he actually does want us to direct people to the new site as well. So for the first couple of days, you probably can still go to the Weebly address.
It's too late. It's done. It's over. We'll tell you about it next time. Next time.
We'll tell you about the new site next time. It's like,
so I'm Janaelle. This is Will. He's going to tell you about his blog.
Yes. My blog, it comes out every Wednesday on Bolt Snap Bolt. It's called Force of Will. I know, creative name, right? Okay.
Right.
It's like it comes out every Wednesday on, and mainly my topics usually are geared to competitive and to constructed formats. So
They
if
can
you're
find it where?
boltsnapboltgaming.wibbly.com, at least
All right.
at least until the next episode. So
I have a blog that I don't use too much. It's mostly video gaming and stuff, but that's speckintomisdirect.wordpress.com. You don't need to go there. You know, just follow me on Twitter, Janaelle5, Janaelle, and the number 5. If I ever post anything on my blog, it goes on my Twitter. Hey, that's awesome. My other podcast also gets retweeted on my Twitter. This podcast will get retweeted on my Twitter. If you want to know what I'm doing, follow me on Twitter.
I would say, and I'll be honest, what Janelle does more on a daily basis is about 100 times more interesting than what I'm doing, because I'm usually getting in arguments about Magic the Gathering cards. So
today I ran out of Starburst.
Yeah, see, that's my point. It's like I was like, if you're looking for diversity in your Twitter account, follow Janelle.
But Will did say he is on Twitter, so he's gonna tell you about his
Twitter. Yeah, I'm at RedHawkWill. You can follow me there. As I said, most of the time, probably 95% of the time, I'll be talking about something Magic related. But I mean, every so often I'll throw in, comments otherwise. So, and of course the show has a Twitter. How can we forget that?
Oh, how did we forget that?
It's like the show's Twitter at AWC Podcast. That is at AWC Podcast is alternate win condition.
We will be posting show updates there, so
Absolutely.
Go ahead and follow that. If you don't want to hear anything we have to fucking say about anything,
yeah.
Why are you listening to us? You're weird.
Yes.
We also have an email account, awcpodcast@gmail.com. Please email us if you have any judging questions. We're hoping to get a judge regularly on the podcast for about 15-minute segments. He wants to answer your questions, and he's also going to tell you how to be a judge.
Yes, and that's excellent thing to know, because I know I've been trying to take the judge test.
No. He's not going to answer those questions.
He's
not going to answer those questions.
So you're saying I can't have the test open and just asking the questions as I go along? That's not allowed?
That's against TCG rules.
Oh, damn. All right.
Damn. But he will tell us in more vaguer terms how you become a judge. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll talk to him all about that. So stay tuned to us. We will be eventually on Stitcher and iTunes.
Yes, absolutely. And also, going back to
YouTube.
And YouTube. And also going back to the email account, we want to hear from you. We want you to tell us kind of things that you're interested in and things that you may want to hear from us as well. It's like, if there's something that you're like, I would love to hear a segment on blank, or whatever the blank is. It's like, email it in or hit us on a Twitter account, and we can definitely look into it. I think we can both safely say neither one of us are experts in the area, so it's something that we would definitely love
but
to
I know
learn.
Experts.
Yeah, there are no experts here except for the judge that we'll have on.
No, I know experts.
You know experts, so you can get
experts.
You can get the answer. So
I can get the answers.
So
okay, so be safe, play more Magic, and we will talk to you next time.
All right.
AWC Podcast out. All right, we're good.
We're good. I'm sorry. I know I went off on some of the cards. Oh,
yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep us moving. That's all.
Yeah,
it's gonna totally sound like I'm bitchy, but no, we're just gonna keep things moving.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
Yeah, there, and maybe we can talk about. I mean, there are some. I do mention a lot of cards in my posts tomorrow as well, and including a 5-color reanimator deck. I do it.
All right.
Why? Because I hate fun.
So okay, I need to get the 5 Gaming Things podcast updated, put on YouTube. You need to make a YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
I'm out of YouTube spots. I actually can't make one for us.
That's fine. I think I can. Once you have a Gmail account, you can do a direct